Breaking up is one of the most profound emotional challenges many people face. It's not just the end of a relationship. It's the unraveling of dreams, shared moments, and a version of yourself tied to someone else. But in the midst of heartbreak lies an incredible opportunity, the chance to reclaim your emotional freedom. Why does this matter so much? Because without emotional freedom, we remain bound to the past, unable to fully step into the future we deserve. Emotional freedom isn't about forgetting or ignoring what happened. It's about releasing the grip that the pain of the breakup holds over your mind and heart. Think about this. Every time you replay past arguments, revisit old photos, or dwell on what could have been, you're anchoring yourself to a reality that no longer exists. That's not living. It's surviving in a loop of unresolved feelings. Emotional freedom breaks this cycle and sets you on a path toward healing, growth, and eventually happiness. The first step to understanding emotional freedom is acknowledging that pain is natural and valid. It's okay to feel sad, angry, or even hopeless after a breakup. These emotions are proof that you cared deeply, that you allowed yourself to be vulnerable, and that your connection was meaningful. But while these feelings are a natural part of the grieving process, they don't have to define your future. Emotional freedom begins when you allow yourself to feel without becoming trapped in the weight of those emotions. Why is this so important? Because detachment from the emotional chaos of a breakup gives you clarity. Imagine trying to drive through a dense fog. Every decision feels uncertain, every step hesitant. Emotional freedom lifts that fog, allowing you to see the road ahead with fresh eyes. You stop reacting to the pain and start responding to your needs. Another reason emotional freedom matters is its transformative power. Detachment doesn't mean you're cold or indifferent. On the contrary, it's a way of honoring the lessons learned from the relationship while letting go of the pain that holds you back. It allows you to reflect on what worked, what didn't, and how you can grow from the experience. Emotional freedom is the bridge between heartbreak and personal growth, empowering you to rebuild your life on a foundation of resilience and self-worth. There's a powerful truth about emotional freedom that many overlook. It's not about erasing the past, but integrating it into your journey. The memories, the lessons, and even the mistakes, they all shape who you are. Emotional freedom helps you own your story without letting it own you. When you detach, you're not cutting ties with your history. You're choosing to carry it in a way that empowers you instead of weighing you down. Finally, emotional freedom matters because it creates space for new beginnings. Holding on to the emotional residue of a breakup keeps you tethered to a closed chapter. But when you release that attachment, you open yourself to the possibility of new relationships, new experiences, and a renewed sense of self. Emotional freedom isn't just about moving on, it's about moving forward with hope and purpose. As we dive into the 5 steps to emotional freedom, keep this in mind. It's not about rushing through the process or pretending everything is okay. Emotional freedom is a journey, one that requires patience, effort, and self-compassion. But every step you take brings you closer to the life you deserve, a life where the pain of the past no longer controls your present or limits your future. The emotional storm after a breakup can feel overwhelming. Waves of sadness, anger, confusion, or even relief come crashing in unexpectedly. Often, the instinct is to suppress these feelings, convincing yourself to stay strong or move on quickly. But the truth is, healing begins not by avoiding your emotions, but by facing them head-on. Acknowledging and validating your emotions is the first essential step toward detaching and finding emotional freedom. When a relationship ends, it's normal to feel like your emotions are out of control. One moment you're nostalgic for the good times, and the next, you're consumed by bitterness over how things ended. This whirlwind can be disorienting, but it's also a natural response to loss. Instead of fighting these feelings, allow yourself to experience them fully. By doing so, you give yourself permission to grieve the relationship, which is a critical step in the healing process. Why is this so important? Because in validating your emotions, telling yourself, "I shouldn't feel this way," or "I need to just get over it," creates internal resistance. That resistance doesn't eliminate the pain, it buries it, only for it to resurface later in unexpected ways. Validating your feelings means saying to yourself, "It's okay to feel hurt, it's okay to feel betrayed, it's okay to feel lost." These emotions are part of being human, and they're proof of the depth of your capacity to love and connect. Acknowledging your emotions also helps you take back control. Think of emotions as signals. They're telling you something important about your needs, values, or unmet expectations. For example, sadness might signal a longing for the companionship you've lost, while anger could stem from unmet expectations or a sense of betrayal. By tuning into these signals, you gain clarity about what you're truly feeling and why. This clarity is empowering, as it allows you to begin addressing those needs in healthier, more constructive ways. One of the most effective tools for validating your emotions is journaling. Writing down your thoughts and feelings gives them a tangible form, making them easier to process. Instead of letting emotions swirl chaotically in your mind, putting them on paper helps you make sense of them. Try this exercise. Write a letter to yourself, describing how you're feeling in this exact moment. Don't judge or censor your words, just let them flow. Then, read the letter back to yourself with compassion, as if it were written by a close friend. This practice can be incredibly therapeutic, helping you see your emotions as valid and worthy of care. Another powerful way to validate your emotions is through mindfulness. This doesn't mean sitting cross-legged for hours in meditation. Mindfulness can be as simple as pausing for a few minutes each day to check in with yourself. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask, "What am I feeling right now? Where do I feel it in my body? What does this emotion want me to know?" By observing your feelings without judgment, you create space for them to exist without overwhelming you. Sometimes, acknowledging your emotions also means seeking support from others. Talking to a trusted friend, family member, or therapist can provide much-needed validation. Hearing someone say, "Your feelings are valid," or "It's okay to feel this way," can be a powerful reminder that you're not alone. If speaking about your emotions feels too vulnerable, even listening to others share their breakup stories can provide comfort and solidarity. As you work to acknowledge and validate your emotions, remember that this process isn't linear. Healing is messy and unpredictable. You might feel like you're making progress one day, only to be triggered by a memory the next. That's okay. The key is to approach yourself with patience and kindness, knowing that every moment of self-validation brings you closer to detachment and emotional freedom. The beauty of this step lies in its transformative power. By giving yourself the space to feel, you begin to reclaim your narrative. Your emotions, once overwhelming, become part of your story, instead of obstacles in your path. This shift sets the stage for the next step, creating boundaries that protect your healing and allow you to move forward with clarity and purpose. Once you've acknowledged and validated your emotions, the next crucial step is creating boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they're bridges to healing. They protect your emotional space, giving you the clarity and freedom to process your feelings without interference. After a breakup, boundaries become essential for rebuilding yourself, as they help you separate your current needs from the lingering attachments of the past. The hardest part about setting boundaries is recognizing their necessity. Many people hesitate to enforce them, fearing they might appear cold or uncaring. But boundaries aren't about shutting people out. They're about prioritizing your well-being. It's an act of self-respect and self-care, a way of saying, I need this space to heal and that's okay. Without boundaries, it's easy to get pulled back into patterns of communication or behavior that prevent you from moving forward. One of the most effective boundaries you can set after a breakup is limiting contact with your ex. While this might feel uncomfortable at first, it's crucial for creating the emotional distance needed to heal. Staying in constant contact or checking their social media only prolongs the pain and keeps you emotionally tethered to the relationship. If going no contact feels too drastic, consider setting specific guidelines, such as limiting communication to necessary logistics only and avoiding emotionally charged conversations. Social media can be one of the hardest boundaries to enforce, but it's also one of the most impactful. Seeing your ex's posts or photos can trigger an emotional spiral, bringing up feelings of jealousy, sadness, or regret. Consider unfollowing, muting, or even blocking their accounts if necessary. This isn't about pettiness, it's about protecting your peace of mind. Similarly, resist the urge to post cryptic messages or updates aimed at your ex. It only perpetuates the emotional cycle you're trying to break. Boundaries aren't just about limiting interactions with your ex, they're also about protecting your emotional energy in other areas of life. After a breakup, well-meaning friends and family might offer unsolicited advice or push you to get back out there before you're ready. Politely but firmly let them know what you need. For example, you might say, I appreciate your concern, but I'm focusing on healing right now. I'll let you know when I'm ready to talk about it. Setting these boundaries helps you maintain control over your narrative and prevents external pressures from interfering with your recovery. Another critical aspect of boundary setting is learning to say no without guilt. Breakups often leave people feeling vulnerable, which can lead to overextending yourself in an effort to avoid loneliness. Whether it's accepting invitations you're not ready for or taking on additional responsibilities at work, saying yes to everything can drain your emotional reserves. Practice saying no in a way that feels authentic and compassionate. For example, I'd love to join, but I need some time for myself right now. Physical boundaries are equally important. If you lived with your ex, creating a separate physical space is key to detachment. This might involve moving out, rearranging furniture, or removing items that carry strong emotional associations. Even small changes, like switching up your routine or spending time in new environments, can help signal to your brain that it's time to move forward. Internal boundaries are just as powerful as external ones. These are the limits you set with yourself to prevent unhelpful behaviors, such as overthinking, obsessing, or self-blame. One way to establish internal boundaries is through mindfulness techniques. When you catch yourself spiraling into negative thoughts, gently redirect your focus. For instance, instead of ruminating on what went wrong, remind yourself of your progress. I'm taking steps to heal, and that's what matters right now. It's important to remember that boundaries aren't fixed. They can evolve as you do. What feels necessary during the early stages of healing might change as you gain more emotional freedom. Regularly check in with yourself to evaluate whether your boundaries are still serving your needs or if adjustments are required. While setting boundaries might feel uncomfortable at first, it's one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself. Boundaries remind you that you have the right to prioritize your well-being, even if it means making difficult decisions. They create a safe space for healing, free from the distractions and entanglements of the past. As you establish and maintain these boundaries, you'll notice something remarkable. A sense of clarity and strength begins to emerge. The emotional noise of the breakup fades, replaced by a quieter, steadier voice, your own. This voice will guide you into the next phase of healing, where the focus shifts from what was lost to what can be gained. One of the greatest challenges after a breakup is redirecting your attention inward. In a relationship, much of your identity becomes intertwined with the other person. The shared routines, plans, and even how you saw yourself. When it ends, the gap left behind feels disorienting, as if a piece of you is missing. Shifting focus from us to me is not just about reclaiming your individuality, but also about discovering new dimensions of who you are beyond the relationship. This transition begins with acceptance. It's natural to feel drawn to the past, replaying what was, or imagining what could have been. These thoughts, though deeply human, often act like quicksand. The more you linger on the us, the harder it becomes to move forward. Instead, gently remind yourself that the relationship was a chapter of your life, not the entire story. Your story didn't end with the breakup. It's simply evolving into something new. Take a moment to reflect. Who were you before this relationship? What dreams and aspirations did you hold close to your heart? These questions aren't meant to drag you back into the past, but to reconnect you with the essence of who you are. Many of us sacrifice parts of ourselves in relationships, often unintentionally, as we adapt to shared goals or routines. Now is your chance to rediscover those parts of yourself. Interests, passions, and quirks that make you unique. One powerful exercise is to create a list of activities that bring you joy or curiosity. Maybe you loved hiking but stopped because your partner didn't enjoy it. Or perhaps you've always wanted to learn photography but never found the time. Write these down without judgment, no matter how small or grand they seem. These are seeds for growth, activities that can help you rebuild your sense of self. But what about trying something entirely new? Breakups, while painful, open a door to reinvention. Stepping into uncharted territory, like taking a cooking class, joining a community group, or learning a new language, can ignite a spark within you. It's not about replacing the relationship, but expanding your world and proving to yourself that life is filled with opportunities you may have overlooked. At this stage, it's also crucial to evaluate the narratives you tell yourself. Breakups often leave behind inner dialogue rooted in blame, regret, or self-doubt. Was it my fault? Did I not try hard enough? These questions, while tempting, trap you in a loop of guilt. Instead, challenge those narratives. Ask yourself, what does this moment teach me about what I want for myself moving forward? Turning the focus inward transforms the breakup into a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Shifting focus to me also means prioritizing your well-being, physically, mentally, and emotionally. It's no secret that emotional pain often manifests physically, whether through fatigue, restlessness, or even illness. Taking care of your body isn't just an act of self-care. It's a foundation for resilience. Consider activities that nurture both your mind and body, like yoga, swimming, or long walks in nature. These moments of movement and mindfulness can help clear the emotional fog and reconnect you to your strength. If physical activity feels overwhelming, start with small but meaningful actions. Prepare meals that nourish you, create a relaxing bedtime routine, or spend 5 minutes each day practicing gratitude. These habits might seem insignificant at first, but they compound over time, reinforcing the message that you are worthy of care and attention. Building emotional independence is another cornerstone of this shift. In relationships, it's common to rely on a partner for validation, comfort, or a sense of purpose. Reclaiming that independence means learning to fulfill those needs within yourself. Begin by identifying ways to self-soothe during moments of emotional distress. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed, try grounding techniques like deep breathing or sensory focus. These practices help anchor you in the present, reminding you that you are capable of navigating difficult emotions on your own. However, shifting focus to yourself doesn't mean isolating from others. Surrounding yourself with supportive friends and family can help you stay grounded. Be mindful, though, of the energy you absorb from others. Seek out those who uplift and encourage you, rather than those who might unintentionally fuel feelings of resentment or bitterness. Their presence should feel like a soft place to land, not a reminder of what you've lost. One of the most profound aspects of this transition is redefining what success looks like for you. In relationships, goals are often shared, moving in together, building a life, or supporting one another's dreams. Now, it's time to shift that focus to your personal aspirations. What would make you proud of yourself a year from now? This could be career milestones, personal growth, or even cultivating a stronger sense of inner peace. By identifying these goals, you create a roadmap to move forward with intention. Finally, consider integrating daily rituals that celebrate your individuality. Start the morning with a mantra such as, "Today, I choose myself," or end the evening by reflecting on one thing you did that made you feel strong. These small yet significant acts of self-acknowledgement reinforce the idea that your value doesn't come from being part of a pair. It comes from within. Shifting from us to me is a process, not an overnight transformation. It's about rediscovering your essence and using this moment as a catalyst to nurture the person you've always been. Every choice to prioritize yourself, every step toward independence, and every moment spent pursuing your passions is a declaration of self-worth. As you embark on this journey, know that this chapter is not the end of love or connection. It's a reclamation of your story. And within this story lies the potential for profound growth, which we'll explore in the next chapter. Reframing the breakup as a catalyst for transformation. Breakups are often viewed as endings, but what if they could be the beginning of something even more meaningful? While the pain of a breakup is undeniable, it holds a hidden potential, the opportunity for growth. When you shift your perspective, the experience becomes less about what you've lost and more about what you can gain. Reframing the breakup in this way doesn't erase the hurt. It transforms it into a stepping stone toward a stronger, more empowered version of yourself. To begin reframing the breakup, it's essential to recognize it as a learning experience. Every relationship teaches us something, whether it's about communication, boundaries, or our own desires and values. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, ask yourself, what can I take away from this? For instance, maybe you've learned the importance of being more assertive about your needs, or realized that certain qualities in a partner aren't negotiable for you anymore. These insights, though born from pain, are invaluable tools for building a healthier future. Another way to reframe the breakup is by viewing it as a moment of clarity. When you're in a relationship, it's easy to overlook red flags or sacrifice personal goals for the sake of harmony. The breakup serves as a wake-up call, illuminating areas of your life that need attention. It might reveal patterns you've been repeating, such as settling for less than you deserve or avoiding difficult conversations. Recognizing these patterns is the first step toward breaking them and creating positive change. Growth often requires discomfort, and breakups provide that in abundance. The uncertainty, loneliness, and emotional turbulence force you to confront parts of yourself that you might have avoided. This process can be uncomfortable, but it's also where the most profound changes occur. Think of it like pruning a plant. Cutting away the old, unproductive parts allows room for new growth. The same is true for you. Letting go of what no longer serves you creates space for something better to flourish. One practical way to embrace growth is to set new intentions for yourself. Unlike rigid goals which focus on specific outcomes, intentions center on how you want to feel or live your life moving forward. For example, you might set an intention to cultivate self-compassion, to say yes to opportunities that scare you, or to build connections that feel genuinely fulfilling. These intentions act as guiding principles, helping you stay focused on the positive changes you're striving to make. Support from others can also play a significant role in reframing the breakup. Trusted friends or mentors can offer fresh perspectives, helping you see the growth opportunities that may not be immediately obvious. A close friend might point out how much stronger you've become, or remind you of ways you've overcome adversity in the past. This external validation reinforces the idea that even in hardship, you are capable of evolving and thriving. It's equally important to give yourself credit for the progress you're making, no matter how small it seems. Perhaps you've gone a day without dwelling on the breakup, or started pursuing a hobby you've always wanted to try. These moments, though subtle, are powerful indicators of growth. Celebrate them, as they mark your movement toward a life that is rooted in self-respect and personal fulfillment. Reframing the breakup as a catalyst for growth also allows you to redefine what success looks like in your life. Instead of measuring success by external factors, like being in a relationship or meeting societal expectations, you can focus on internal fulfillment. Success becomes about how aligned you feel with your values, how authentically you live, and how deeply you care for yourself. This shift in perspective transforms the breakup from a failure into an opportunity for empowerment. Finally, remember that growth is not about perfection, it's about progress. There will be moments when the pain resurfaces or when you question your ability to move forward. These moments don't negate your progress, they're simply reminders of how far you've come. Growth is not a linear process, but a continuous unfolding of your potential. By embracing this mindset, you allow yourself to navigate the aftermath of the breakup with grace and determination. As you reframe the breakup, you'll find yourself shedding old patterns and stepping into a space where personal transformation feels possible. This shift not only helps you heal, but also prepares you to build a future that reflects your values, aspirations, and the person you're becoming. And with this foundation, you'll discover that letting go of the past opens the door to creating a life that is truly your own. After a breakup, it's easy to feel as though the future is a blank, uncertain space. The plans you once had together may no longer exist, leaving you unsure of what comes next. But this blank slate is not something to fear. It's an open canvas where you can design a life that is entirely your own. Developing a vision for your future is about finding clarity, setting intentions, and taking steps to create a life that feels authentic, fulfilling, and exciting. To start, give yourself permission to dream again. Breakups often leave you tethered to the past, replaying memories or regrets. Shifting your focus forward requires a conscious effort to let go of the what-ifs and embrace the possibilities ahead. Ask yourself, what kind of life do I want to build? What values matter most to me? What experiences would bring me joy or purpose? These questions can act as a compass, guiding you toward a clearer vision of the future. One effective tool for creating this vision is visualization. Close your eyes and imagine your ideal day. What are you doing? Who are you with? And how do you feel? Maybe you're pursuing a career you're passionate about, spending time with people who inspire you, or traveling to places you've always wanted to see. This exercise helps you tap into your desires, reminding you that the future is filled with opportunities to create moments of happiness and meaning. As you build this vision, it's important to balance dreaming big with taking practical steps. Grand aspirations are motivating, but they can feel overwhelming if they remain abstract. Break your vision into smaller, actionable goals. For example, if you dream of moving to a new city, start by researching neighborhoods, creating a budget, or exploring job opportunities. If you want to prioritize self-care, commit to small habits like journaling, meditating, or taking regular walks. These incremental steps build momentum, turning your vision into a reality. In this process, don't shy away from stepping out of your comfort zone. Growth and fulfillment often come from embracing challenges and trying new things. If there's an opportunity that excites you but feels intimidating, consider saying yes. Whether it's learning a new skill, attending an event alone, or pursuing a creative project, these experiences can help you uncover strengths and passions you didn't know you had. Developing a vision for your future also requires reflection on your core values. Relationships often blur the line between personal and shared values, so this is your chance to reconnect with what matters most to you. What principles guide your decisions? What kind of impact do you want to have on the world? Aligning your vision with your values ensures that the future you create feels deeply fulfilling and true to who you are. As you craft this vision, remember that it's okay if it evolves over time. You don't need to have all the answers right now. What matters is that you're taking intentional steps toward a life that reflects your priorities and aspirations. Flexibility is key. Sometimes the unexpected detours lead to the most rewarding outcomes. It's also important to address the fear of moving forward without your ex-partner. Many people hesitate to dream of a future that doesn't include the person they once imagined by their side. This fear is valid, but not insurmountable. Remind yourself that your happiness and fulfillment are not dependent on anyone else. By focusing on your vision, you're choosing to prioritize your own growth and well-being, which lays the foundation for deeper connections in the future. One way to reinforce your commitment to this vision is to create tangible reminders of your goals and dreams. This could be a vision board filled with images that inspire you, a journal where you outline your plans, or even a simple mantra that keeps you focused. These reminders act as anchors, helping you stay connected to your aspirations even when doubts or setbacks arise. Surrounding yourself with supportive people can also help bring your vision to life. Share your goals with friends, mentors, or loved ones who encourage you to pursue what makes you happy. Their belief in your potential can serve as a powerful motivator, especially during moments when self-doubt creeps in. Ultimately, developing a vision for your future is about reclaiming your agency. After a breakup, it's common to feel like life is happening to you, as though you're at the mercy of circumstances beyond your control. But the truth is, you have the power to shape your own path. By focusing on what you want and taking deliberate action, you're not just moving forward, you're creating a future that reflects your resilience, determination, and individuality. As you take these steps, remember that the future doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay to make mistakes, change directions, or encounter setbacks. What matters is that you're investing in yourself and building a life that feels meaningful to you. Each choice, no matter how small, brings you closer to the person you're becoming, someone capable of thriving beyond the pain of the past. The act of envisioning and building your future is the ultimate declaration of self-worth. It's a reminder that the breakup, while painful, does not define you. Instead, it's a catalyst for transformation, a chance to create a life that is rich with purpose and joy. With this foundation, you can step confidently into your new chapter, knowing that the best is yet to come. Stepping into a new chapter after a breakup can feel like standing at the edge of an unknown world. There's uncertainty, but there's also immense potential. Embracing this phase isn't about erasing the past. It's about integrating the lessons, releasing what no longer serves you, and welcoming the opportunities that lie ahead. This is your chance to create a life that feels fulfilling, authentic, and entirely yours. The first step in embracing your new chapter is recognizing the strength it took to get here. Breakups test us in ways we don't anticipate. They challenge our resilience, force us to confront our vulnerabilities, and push us to grow in ways we never imagined. Take a moment to acknowledge your courage. You've navigated loss, faced difficult emotions, and begun to prioritize yourself. These are no small feats. They are a testament to your ability to endure, and evolve. As you move forward, it's important to let go of the need for perfection. A new chapter doesn't mean starting over from scratch. It means building on the foundation of who you already are. You don't have to have everything figured out or feel completely healed to begin. Progress comes in small, meaningful steps. Celebrate those moments of progress, whether it's trying something new, reconnecting with a friend, or simply waking up with a lighter heart. These steps are proof that you're moving forward, even if the path isn't always clear. One of the most powerful ways to embrace this new chapter is to focus on gratitude. After a breakup, it's easy to dwell on what's missing or what went wrong. Shifting your perspective to gratitude helps you see the abundance in your life, even in the midst of change. Think about the people who have supported you, the experiences that have shaped you, and the opportunities that await you. Gratitude doesn't diminish the pain you've felt. It reminds you of your capacity to find light, even in difficult moments. This new chapter is also a time to redefine your relationship with yourself. In a relationship, so much of your energy is directed outward, toward nurturing and supporting someone else. Now, that energy can be redirected inward. Use this time to strengthen your self-worth, build confidence, and reconnect with your inner voice. Ask yourself, what do I need to feel fulfilled? How can I honor myself moving forward? These questions help anchor you in self-compassion and guide you toward decisions that align with your values. As you embrace this chapter, remain open to the unexpected. Life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. Perhaps you'll discover a new passion, forge a meaningful connection, or achieve a goal you once thought was out of reach. By staying curious and receptive, you create space for opportunities that align with your growth. It's equally important to recognize that embracing your new chapter doesn't mean forgetting the past. The experiences you've had, even the painful ones, are part of your story. They've shaped you into the person you are today. Stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Carry those lessons with you, not as baggage, but as tools to navigate what's ahead. Finally, remember that this chapter is yours to write. Others may offer advice, opinions, or expectations, but only you can decide what feels right for your life. Trust yourself to make choices that reflect your desires and priorities. This is your time to explore, to grow, and to create a life that feels meaningful on your terms. As you step fully into this new chapter, hold on to this truth. You are capable of building a fulfilling future. The pain of the breakup doesn't define you. It's simply one part of a larger, richer narrative. Embracing this chapter is not about looking back with regret, but about moving forward with hope, determination, and an open heart.